Chosen one, have you ever looked into the eyes of your pet and felt something deeper than companionship, something that spoke to your soul in a language no words could ever capture? Have you ever wondered why, in the loneliest moments of your life, when no one seemed to understand, it was your pet who stayed close, watching, guarding, and comforting you in ways even human beings could not? This is not coincidence. What if I told you your pet is not just a pet at all? They are a guardian assigned to your soul's journey, a spiritual sentinel placed in your life by divine design. There is a story hidden in sacred texts that mirrors this truth. When Prophet Noah prepared for the great flood, he was not commanded to only gather people. He was instructed to bring animals with him, pairs of every kind, into the ark. Why? Because creation itself was not just meant for survival, but for spiritual companionship. These creatures were not random. They were part of a divine assignment to preserve balance, to keep watch, and to carry hidden wisdom. Just as Noah was not left alone in his mission, you too have not been left without guardians. Some of them walk beside you on four legs, with fur, feathers, or silent eyes that see beyond the veil of the physical world. Take this moment with me now. Breathe slowly. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. As you do, imagine that the creature in your home, the one who sits at your feet or lays quietly by your bed, has always been aware of your calling. They have sensed your tears even when you tried to hide them. They have carried your heaviness in silence. Let's believe together that what you are hearing now is not random. It is a divine reminder meant for you. For it is said, the animals are nations like yourselves. In their loyalty and presence, there is a reflection of God's unspoken care for you. You've been through nights when you cried into your pillow and no one answered. You've faced seasons where betrayal cut deeper than you could express. You've walked through doors of silence, wondering if God himself had turned away. But look closer. In those very moments, your pet stayed near. They followed you into the quiet room, pressed close when you broke down, and looked at you with a gaze that told you, without a word, you are not alone. The silence was sacred. Their presence was the answer you didn't know you were asking for. And so, chosen one, this message is for you. By the end of this journey, you will come to see your pet not as coincidence, not as accident, but as a guardian of your spirit, assigned for your healing, your protection, and your awakening. Comment 777 if you've ever felt your pet comforting you in a way no human could. Comment 444 if you've noticed how they sense things before you do. This is not just about animals. This is about destiny. This is about you remembering who you are and realizing that heaven has always been watching over you, sometimes through the quiet, faithful eyes of your pet. Have you ever noticed how your pet seems to know when you are sad, even before you shed a tear? They sit beside you, they lean into you, and they guard you with a silence that speaks louder than any human comfort. To the unawakened, this may look like simple instinct, but for the chosen one, it is a sign. Your pet is not merely an animal you care for. They are a spiritual guardian carrying a role beyond your comprehension. They were not placed in your life by chance, they were assigned. Psychologically, we often underestimate the depth of energy animals perceive. Modern science tells us that dogs can smell emotional shifts, cats can sense changes in energy fields, and birds can react to atmospheric pressure before storms. Yet what science cannot explain is the way your pet aligns with your soul's rhythm. When you feel anxious, they absorb it. When you rejoice, they radiate it. They become mirrors of your internal world. Jung referred to psychic energy as the flow of vitality that governs our emotions, thoughts, and spiritual growth. Your pet is sensitive to this energy in ways humans often overlook. When you are drained, they move closer. When you are vibrating with strength, They rest in peace beside you. They do not feed on your energy like people often do. They harmonize with it, protect it, and balance it. Spiritually, this bond is more profound than companionship. In divine wisdom, chosen souls are never left unguarded. Some guardians come in the form of angels, unseen to the physical eye. Others are clothed in fur, feathers, or scales. Your pet becomes a vessel through which unseen protection manifests. They often block spiritual attacks without you even realizing it. Have you ever noticed how your pet suddenly growls at an empty corner, stares into the unseen, or refuses to enter a certain room? That is not random. They are perceiving realms your human senses cannot. They are interceptors of unseen forces. In their alertness, they are protecting your peace. Think about the times you said yes to people when you wanted to say no. Every yes drained your soul's gold, as though you were giving away pieces of yourself. Humans demanded, pulled, and fed on your energy. But your pet? They never demanded a mask from you. They never asked you to pretend. They accepted you in your silence, your brokenness, your tears, and your laughter. This unconditional acceptance is not natural. It is supernatural. It is a reminder that you are seen as you are, without performance, without pretense. There is a reason why chosen ones are often given pets who seem unusually bonded to them. Because the world constantly misunderstands you, heaven ensures you are never fully alone. The presence of your pet is like a drop of light, reminding you that you are still guarded, still held, still chosen. Silence is not coldness, it is sovereignty. And your pet, in their loyalty, teaches you how to embody that same sovereignty. Now, pause for a moment and reflect. Who in your life gets unsettled when you withdraw your energy? Who grows restless when you are silent? The answer reveals who depended on your giving, not on who you are. But notice your pet in that silence. They do not panic. They do not accuse. They stay. This is the difference between energy leeches and divine guardians. Your pet's reaction to your silence is a reflection of true spiritual loyalty. Chosen one. Your pet's presence is not small. It is not ordinary. It is a chapter of your divine story unfolding right in your living room, at your bedside, or in your daily walks. Comment 777 if you've ever felt your pet shield you in ways you couldn't explain. Comment 444 if you've seen them stare into the unseen like they were fighting battles on your behalf. These are not random behaviors. These are signs of their assignment. And in this truth, you are reminded. You were never abandoned. You were always guarded, even by the paws, wings, or quiet eyes of a spiritual companion assigned just for you. Have you ever wondered why, out of all the people in the world, this one animal ended up with you? Some will call it luck, some will call it adoption, but for the chosen one, nothing is random. Just as your birth was not random, just as your struggles carried hidden purpose, so too was the arrival of your pet, part of a divine arrangement. They did not simply come into your home, they were sent into your life. When a shift happens in the life of a chosen soul, the entire spiritual atmosphere around them changes. Your presence has weight, your path has gravity, and your destiny carries influence beyond the physical. That is why guardians are assigned to walk beside you, even when you don't notice. Spiritually, your pet is tethered to your calling. They are sensitive to the unseen battles you face and act as buffers, intercepting energies that were never meant to reach you. When they suddenly bark at night, hiss at what you cannot see, or cling tightly to you during moments of unease, they are not acting randomly. They are stepping into their spiritual role as protectors. Psychologically, this assignment can be seen in the way they synchronize with your nervous system. When you are stressed, your heart rate changes, your breathing shifts, and your nervous system signals imbalance. Your pet instinctively adapts to this, mirroring calmness when you need grounding, or becoming alert when you need warning. In Jungian terms, this creates individuation not just in the human, but in the bond itself, a merging of two beings into a higher, balanced state. People project their expectations onto you, demanding you remain predictable, dependable, always giving. But your pet does not project, they reflect. They are not disturbed when you change or grow. Instead, they evolve with you. Spiritually, your absence becomes the message. When you retreat from draining connections, the world may call you distant or strange. But notice what your pet does in those moments. They draw nearer. They align with your silence instead of fearing it. Like unseen gravity, their loyalty anchors you, reminding you that divine companionship exists outside of human approval. It is as if heaven whispers through their presence, "Even if no one else understands, I have assigned this one to you, to stand guard over your soul." Have you ever seen the domino effect when your energy shifts? Some relationships fall apart, hidden motives surface, and the masks of others slip. Yet your pet remains unchanged. They do not flee when your truth shows. They do not attack when you withhold what drains you. Their steady companionship is proof that their bond with you is not based on illusion. It is based on assignment. Like a puppet whose strings are cut, the games of others fall apart when you step back. But your pet never needed the strings. They only needed your presence. The world may not understand this depth. They may laugh at the idea that your pet could be spiritually tied to you. But the chosen ones know your journey is filled with signs others overlook. Comment 777 if you've ever felt like your pet came into your life at exactly the right time, almost as if heaven knew you needed them. Comment 444 if you've seen how they protect your peace in ways no person ever could. The truth is, chosen one, you are becoming free. Free from the weight of expectation, free from roles that suffocated you, free from relationships that drained you. And in that freedom, your guardians, seen and unseen, draw closer. Your pet is not just beside you. They are with you in purpose. And every time they look into your eyes, they remind you of this simple yet powerful truth. You are not walking this path alone. You never were. You never will be. Chosen one, let's go deeper. Have you ever wondered why your bond with your pet feels unlike anything else, almost as if it began long before this lifetime? For many chosen ones, the roots of this connection stretch back to childhood. As children, you may have felt different, overly sensitive, misunderstood by family or peers. You carried a weight in your heart that others could not see, and so often you found comfort not in people, but in the silent presence. Spiritually, this bond was never random. The Creator, knowing the storms you would endure, allowed guardians to come in forms that could not betray you. Humans may misunderstand your tears, mock your sensitivity, or dismiss your silence. But your pet, even as a child, simply stayed. Their presence whispered what no one else told you. You were not broken, you were awake. You were never too sensitive, you were deeply in tune. Have you noticed how your pet often carries burdens without complaint? They absorb energy, they guard you in silence. And sometimes they even grow ill when your spirit is under great strain. It is as though they take on battles you cannot fight alone. This is not weakness on their part, it is assignment. They were given a portion of your load because chosen souls were never meant to collapse under the full weight of their destiny. Think of the old soul trapped in a child's body. You were asked to carry storms too heavy for your years, and yet heaven sent you companions who could carry the weight invisibly. They did not argue, they did not question, they simply stood watch. Like angels clothed in fur or feathers, they made sure your heart would not shatter beyond repair. Pause now and reflect. See that child version of yourself, standing alone in a crowded world, trying to be strong when no one noticed. And now see your pet, whether past or present, standing beside that child. Whisper these words into that memory. You were never abandoned. You were guarded. Feel the warmth of that truth. Let it sink into the places where loneliness once lived. Psychologically, this bond also repairs what rejection created. In relationships, people often projected their fears onto you, rejecting you not for who you are, but for the parts of themselves they could not accept. But your pet never rejected you. They became the mirror that reflected only loyalty. This repaired something inside you that human love could not touch. Chosen one. Your pet is not here to entertain you. They are here to remind you. Their assignment reaches back to childhood wounds, carrying forward into your adult awakening. Their love is not shallow, it is ancient. And every time you look into their eyes, you are looking into a sacred covenant, a promise that even when the world fails you, heaven never will. Comment 777. If you remember an animal who stood by you in your childhood, protecting your fragile heart when no one else could. Comment 444 if your current pet has become your healer, your silent companion in this season of awakening. These bonds are not small. They are pieces of your destiny, proof that your soul has never walked alone. Chosen one. Have you noticed how silence often becomes the language between you and your pet? They do not need words to understand you, nor do they demand explanations. When the world drains you, when people accuse you of being distant or strange, your pet simply stays near, embodying a guardianship that speaks through presence, not noise. In this silence lies a mystery. Their loyalty is not ordinary. It is sacred. Psychologically, silence is powerful. When you stop explaining yourself, you conserve psychic energy that would otherwise be wasted. Every argument avoided, every justification withheld, becomes a reclamation of your soul's strength. This is why chosen ones often find comfort in animals. Pets do not demand your explanations. They are content with your presence. When people misunderstand your silence as rejection, your pet interprets it as truth. They remain steady, teaching you that real love does not require endless performance. Spiritually, this guardianship in silence is even more profound. Your pet becomes a sentinel in unseen battles. Many chosen ones experience seasons where strange heaviness lingers in their homes, where shadows of spiritual warfare seem to press against their walls. Have you ever noticed your pet suddenly alert, ears raised, eyes fixed on what you cannot see? Or perhaps they refuse to enter a certain room, their body tense, as though standing between you and something harmful. This is no random behavior. They are interceptors, protectors, stepping into a role assigned by heaven. The imagery is clear: the cocoon, the desert, the womb. Each represents transformation in silence. Just as a butterfly must endure the cocoon unseen, just as prophets endured years in hidden deserts, so too do chosen ones experience seasons of isolation. During these times, your pet becomes a living reminder that silence is not emptiness. It is protection. In the desert of your silence, their companionship assures you that heaven has not forgotten you. Instead, you are being preserved. Have you noticed how lighter you feel when you stop explaining yourself? That lightness is your power returning. And your pet, lying quietly at your feet, mirrors this peace. They show you that presence itself is healing, that sometimes the greatest protection is simply to stay near. They embody a truth people often fail to grasp. Silence does not mean absence, it means sovereignty. Pause now and take a breath. Feel the weight lift when you imagine a life where you no longer justify your existence, no longer hand your energy to those who do not value it. That freedom is what your pet models every day. They live without pretense, without apology, fully present in each moment. Their very being reminds you of what it means to walk in authenticity. Psychologically, this companionship rewires your nervous system. Humans may trigger stress, forcing you into patterns of explanation and overgiving. But your pet stabilizes you, grounding your energy through their steady presence. Spiritually, they shield you in moments of unseen warfare, absorbing attacks meant for you, standing guard in silence. Their watchfulness is not instinct alone, it is assignment. Chosen one, this is why your pet's presence feels like medicine. In their silence, you rediscover your own. In their loyalty, you are reminded of divine faithfulness. Comment 777. If you have ever felt your pet protect you through a moment of deep heaviness. Comment 444 if you've noticed their strange awareness of things you could not see. These signs are not small, they are confirmations of their guardianship. So, when the world calls your silence cold, when people accuse you of being distant, remember this. Your pet does not fear your silence. They rest in it. They find peace in it. And through them, heaven is showing you that silence is not the end. It is the beginning of transformation. They are guardians of your sacred seasons, standing watch while you are shaped into who you were always meant to become. Chosen one, rejection has always been a wound in your story. You've felt the sting of being misunderstood, of pouring yourself out only to be left empty, of watching people walk away when you needed them most. But pause and look carefully. In those very seasons when rejection cut deep, your pet never turned away. They stayed. Their presence became a living parable, showing you that rejection does not define your worth. It simply reveals who was never meant to carry your light. Psychologically, rejection often roots itself in projection. People see in you what they cannot face in themselves. Your silence exposes their dependency, your truth confronts their illusions, your boundaries trigger their fears of abandonment. And so, instead of facing their own shadow, they reject you. But notice the paradox. While others project their unhealed wounds onto you, your pet reflects only loyalty. They do not demand, accuse, or twist your essence. They look at you and see not threat, but home. That reflection heals wounds human rejection carved into your spirit. Spiritually, this rejection is confirmation. Chosen ones are mirrors, and mirrors are not always welcomed. Just as prophets were ridiculed, just as messengers were dismissed, so too are you often rejected not for your flaws, but for your light. Your pet, however, has been assigned to balance this burden. When people turn away, your guardian stays near, silently affirming that your existence is enough. They are a reminder that heaven never withdraws from you, even when the world does. Think of this imagery, a mirror too bright for some to face. People look and turn away, not because the mirror is flawed, but because the reflection is too confronting. That is what your presence does to many. And yet, your pet gazes into your eyes without fear, without hesitation, as if they were created to withstand your full brilliance. Their gaze says what people could not. You are not too much. You are exactly as you should be. Have you ever noticed how your pet instinctively draws closer when others pull away? When rejection leaves you feeling abandoned, they climb into your lap, press against your side, or guard your doorway. They embody faithfulness that contradicts every lie rejection told you. They are proof that loyalty still exists, that acceptance is real, that you are not destined for loneliness, but for companionship rooted in divine assignment. Psychologically, this companionship rewrites the script of abandonment. Each time your pet stays when others leave, your nervous system learns a new truth. Not everyone departs. Not every bond breaks. Spiritually, this is a covenant. Just as angels were assigned to watch over messengers in the wilderness, so too your pet was assigned to watch over you in seasons of isolation. Their constancy is not ordinary. It is ordained. Chosen one, hear this truth. They didn't reject you because you were wrong. They rejected the reflection of themselves they saw in you. Your pet reveals the opposite. In their eyes, you see the reflection of who you truly are. Beloved, chosen, guarded. This is why their companionship feels so healing. They are not just pets. They are mirrors of divine loyalty. Pause for a moment. Remember the times when betrayal made you question your worth. Recall the moments when silence felt like abandonment, and now remember how your pet remained, steady, faithful, unshaken. That is not coincidence. That is guardianship. Comment 777 if your pet has ever comforted you after rejection, proving their loyalty. Comment 444 if you've seen how they sense when your spirit is heavy and choose to stay even closer. These moments are not small, they are sacred reminders that you are never truly alone. So when rejection whispers that you are unworthy, look into the eyes of your guardian. Their gaze tells the truth. You are chosen. And heaven, through their presence, is saying, you were never abandoned, you were always protected. Chosen one, there comes a moment in your awakening when you realize that the greatest guardian you have is not only beside you, but also within you. Your pet, loyal and silent, has been showing you this truth all along. Their instinct, their ability to sense danger, their way of knowing when to rest and when to act. These are mirrors of what already lives in you, your inner compass. And yet, because of rejection, betrayal, and years of self-doubt, you've often silenced that compass. Now, through their guardianship, heaven is guiding you back to trust it again. Psychologically, Jung called this individuation, the journey of becoming whole, reclaiming the parts of yourself you once denied to survive. Your inner compass is the voice of that wholeness. It speaks through intuition, gut feelings, and subtle whispers that urge you forward or warn you away. Have you noticed how your pet follows this same rhythm? They do not overthink. They do not betray their instincts. If danger stirs, they stand alert. If peace surrounds, they rest. They remind you of a forgotten truth. Your soul already knows the way. Spiritually, this compass is more than instinct. It is divine guidance woven into your being. Synchronicity, the pattern of meaningful coincidences, is heaven's way of aligning you with your destiny. Just as your pet senses storms before they come, your soul senses shifts long before they manifest. Every unease you feel before betrayal, every spark of joy you feel before breakthrough, is the compass inside your chest pointing you home. Pause here with me. Place your hand gently on your heart. Feel its rhythm. That beat has guided you through every valley, every storm, every moment of silence. Even when you doubted yourself, even when others dismissed your truth, your compass never stopped speaking. And just as your pet trusts their instinct without hesitation, you are being invited to do the same. Psychologically, ignoring this compass is what exhausts you. Every time you said yes when your soul screamed no, you abandoned your inner guidance. Every time you stayed where peace had left, you silenced your compass. This is why exhaustion became familiar. It was not your weakness. It was the cost of self-abandonment. Spiritually, this is where your pet becomes teacher as much as guardian. They never abandon their sense of knowing. They follow it without doubt, and in doing so, they reveal the sacred path you must also take. Trust what you feel, for it is heaven's whisper within you. Chosen one, your compass is not broken. It has never betrayed you. Every warning, every pull, every sudden knowing was divine alignment. And when you ignored it, your pet often mirrored the truth, hesitating, resisting, or acting in ways you could not explain. Pay attention to these mirrors. They are confirmations that what you feel is real. Your journey now is to walk in alignment with that compass. Trust the silence that guides you away from noise. Trust the peace that anchors you when the world shakes. Trust the unease that warns you of hidden intentions. And know that in this alignment, your guardians, seen and unseen, stand with you. Comment 777 if you've ever had your intuition proven right after doubting it. Comment 444 if you've noticed your pet sense something long before you did. These are not accidents. They are confirmations that heaven has been guiding you all along. So breathe, chosen one, hand on your chest, feel the compass that never failed you. Your pet may guard you outwardly, but this compass guards you inwardly. And when you learn to trust it fully, you will walk paths no betrayal can break, no rejection can shatter, no darkness can confuse. The compass in your chest has always been pointing home, and now, at last, you are ready to follow it. Chosen one, we have walked together through revelation after revelation, from the gaze of your pet that sees deeper than flesh, to the seasons of rejection and silence, to the compass within your chest that has never stopped pointing you home. Now we arrive at the prophetic truth that ties it all together. Your becoming is not just about you, it is the message. Psychologically, individuation is not becoming someone new, it is remembering who you have always been. You were never broken, only hidden. You were never abandoned, only shaped. Every wound, every betrayal, every lonely night has been chiseling away the false layers, bringing you closer to the brilliance that was always within you. Your pet's guardianship has been part of this shaping, a living reminder that even when humans failed you, heaven never did. Spiritually, awakening is not an escape, it is a homecoming. Your journey has been marked by signs, synchronicities in numbers like 1111, seasons of silence, bonds with guardians who never left. These signs have not been random. They are coordinates on the map of your destiny. Each tear watered the soil of your calling. Each rejection pushed you closer to your truth. Each season of silence prepared you to hear the only voice that matters, the divine whisper within. Think of this cascade of affirmations. You weren't forgotten, you were hidden. You weren't broken, you were being shaped. You weren't abandoned, you were recalled. Your pet's presence has been a living prophecy of this. Every time they stood guard at your side, they declared without words that you are worth protecting. Every time they pressed against you in sorrow, they testified that your soul's ache was sacred. Every time they stared into the unseen, they showed you that your destiny stretches beyond the visible. They were never just pets. They were part of heaven's way of keeping you safe until you were ready to step into remembrance. Chosen one, pause and let this truth rest on your spirit. Your silence is not emptiness, it is sovereignty. Your rejection is not failure, it is confirmation. Your awakening is not madness, it is remembrance. And your pet's guardianship was heaven's way of saying, you were never alone. Now, declare this with me. Comment 1111 if you choose your peace. Not the peace the world offers, fragile and false, but the peace of knowing you are guarded, chosen, and aligned with your purpose. When you type 1111, you are not just engaging with this message, you are sealing it as truth in your own life. And as you move forward, remember this. You are not just watching another video, you are stepping into a sanctuary for your soul. Subscribe not just for more words, but because this space is your refuge. Whenever the weight of the world grows too heavy, you will find rest here. You will find reminders here. You will find confirmation here. So hear this poetic close as if it were written for you alone. Chosen one, your becoming is the message. You are no longer available to what drains you. You are available only to the truth of your own becoming. Your guardians have always been by your side, whispering what heaven already knew. You were chosen, you were protected, and now, at last, you are awake.